Hey, Doc. How's the room?
It's a little cleaner than I would have imagined for a Depression-era flophouse. How are your investigations going?
I saw him.
Who?
My grandpa, on his streetcar for just a second. Doc, we gotta find him.
Why?
Trixie thinks she's got something that could put Kid away, but Artie's the only one who can tell her for sure. I guess he's kind of her tutor or something.
Ah, so that's the connection. When your grandfather disappeared from Hill Valley for 2 months, the bond between him and Miss Trotter was severed, eventually leading to a timeline in which Trixie lost the nerve to betray Tannen.
Yeah?
We've got to find your grandfather.
Any sign of Artie?
Haven't spotted him yet.
Are you sure Tannen's supposed to be arrested by Officer Parker? The guy's a mess.
Mess or no mess, I'm absolutely certain that Parker's your man. In fact, it's his arrest of Tannen that will eventually lead him to becoming Hill Valley's chief of police.
That seems really unlikely. Where'd you park the DeLorean?
I hid it in the DeSoto lot. Nobody's buying cars these days, so it should be safe in there.
Hey, who did burn down Tannen's original speakeasy anyway?
I still don't know. I'd really like to find out before we go home.
I never did get a straight answer about why he came back to 1931 in the first place.
It's, personal. When this is over, I'll tell you all about it.
I'm gonna hold you to that, you know. Can you explain all this? I'm confused.
It's very simple. In the original timeline, Timeline A, the speakeasy arsonist was never caught, creating one of Hill Valley's enduring historical mysteries.
Okay.
When I traveled back to 1931, I created Timeline B, in which I was misidentified as the arsonist and subsequently killed by Kid Tannen's goons. Einstein came with me, and somehow he ended up in the DeLorean when its fail-safe mechanism triggered, sending it back to 1986.
Which is where I came in.
Precisely. You traveled back to June 14th, 1931, creating Timeline C, a world in which Carl Sagan wasn't rubbed out by Kid Tannen. But Arthur McFly was served with a subpoena.
And shot by Kid Tannen's goons.
Yes, so you jumped back in time 6 hours, creating Timeline D, saving your grandfather's life, but somehow preventing Kid Tannen from meeting his date with justice.
Which is why the Tannens were so powerful when we jumped back to 86.
Uh-huh. So now we've returned to August of 1931, creating Timeline E, in which, fingers crossed, we'll send Tannen to prison where he belongs. Got it?
Sure.
Good.
One question.
What?
Can you explain all this? I'm confused. Why are Tannens always such jerks anyway?
It's hard to say. Rogue Neanderthal genes in their DNA, perhaps.
Okay, I better get back to fixing history.
Be careful, Marty.
Hey, Doc, I could use a little help.
What's the problem?
Okay, I better get back to fixing history.
Be careful, Marty.
Sonny, you're just in time.
How have you been, Emmett? I know I haven't seen you in a couple of months.
I'm great, and I owe it all to you.
Really?
Yes, that argument I had with my father during our jet drill experiment gave me the incentive to finally quit that dreary court job. I've committed myself full-time to a life of science.
So, thanks for watching Einstein while I've been away.
It's been a pleasure. He's proven to be a surprisingly willing test subject. It's almost as if he's been working with me for years.
More like decades. What's the story with the little car and all this equipment?
Einstein and I are conducting a few experiments with this 1/4 scale model to work out a few hitches in my planned demonstration at the Hill Valley Expo in a couple of months.
A radio-controlled car?
No. Well, yes, but there'll be so much more than that. It will amaze the world. Aha! Got it!
Got what?
I'll show you. Ready to go, Einstein? Watch this! When this baby hits 23 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious cow flop.
Einstein!
Oh,
Get him out of there!
not to worry. I've got a fail-safe eject mechanism around here someplace. See? Nothing to worry about.
Nothing. I'll go see if I can find something to help. Or someone. Hey, Doc, I could use a little help.
What's the problem?
Why are tannins always such jerks anyway?
It's hard to say. Rogue Neanderthal genes in their DNA, perhaps.
Why didn't you tell me I'd run into your younger self tonight?
Because I don't remember being out here tonight. Clearly, your interactions with my younger self 2 months ago have slightly altered my personal timeline. I never had the nerve to perform public experiments like he's doing. No matter. Those experiments will be forgotten once I've seen Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
Yes. Right now, my younger self is fiddling around down there with rocket propulsion systems for his demonstration at the expo.
The thing that'll kick off your scientific career.
Exactly. Now, the rockets are a horrible idea, and I'll soon realize that they'll never work. But eventually, I'll wander into that movie theater and see Frankenstein and clear my mind. I've kept the ticket stub from that movie in my wallet ever since. See?
Why?
Because it's during this movie that I'll have the inspiration for my breakthrough at the expo.
It doesn't have anything to do with reanimating the dead, does it?
Not the way you're thinking, no. But during that famous scene when Colin and Clive turned the wheel that raised that shrouded figure into the tower, and that bolt of lightning struck, well, let's just say more than one brain was reanimated that night.
Emmett's not having much luck getting Einstein off the courthouse.
I'm not surprised. Einstein's a smart dog, but heights give him the willies.
What can we do?
I've got it.
What?
Just get my younger self distracted, and I'll handle the rest.
Okay, I better get back to fixing history.
Be careful, Marty.
Don't worry, Emmett. I'm sure you'll get it right someday.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Right now, I'm more concerned with Einstein.
Why don't you take a break from Einstein Patrol for a minute? Maybe go see a movie or something.
Thanks for the offer, Sonny. When once Emmett Lathrop Brown sets his mind on a task, nothing can distract him from his purpose. And right now, that purpose is rescuing your dog.
What went wrong with your rocket car?
I'm not entirely sure. As soon as we get Einstein down, I'm gonna go look for it.
What's up with you and Edna? A couple months ago, I could swear she was making goo-goo eyes at you.
That was before my father had her Stay Sober Society meeting thrown out of our house. Now she takes every opportunity she can get to snipe at me and my work. It's very distracting.
Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
My pop says he's a good cop when he's not drinking.
Good.
Of course, now I hear he drinks all the time.
You know anything about Trixie Trotter?
The songbird of the Sierras? The nightingale of the north? The floozy of the foothills? Never heard of her. And I've definitely never snuck into Tannen's speakeasy to listen to her.
Have you seen that Frankenstein movie yet? I hear it's pretty inspirational.
Not yet. I've been so busy with my rocket car that I haven't found the time. But I'm planning on going tonight. At least I will once I get Einstein down.
Well, I'll go off and see if I can get some help.
You do that. I'll stay here and see if I can think of a way to get Einie off that ledge.
Hey, Edna.
Mr. Crockett, what can I do for you?
What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
Saving people from alcohol, vice, and disorder. And also keeping a lookout for hot stories. You'd be surprised how much news breaks on this corner.
Broken any stories tonight?
Only the usual. Mayor Thomas trying to slink out of the speakeasy. Frankie Needles crashing his car into a fire hydrant. Nothing that'll get me the front page.
Hey, I got a hot lead for you.
Oh? What is it?
Officer Parker reformed.
He has? Really?
Soon. Just you wait.
Hmm.
What was that song you were singing earlier?
Do you like it? I wrote it myself. It really gets the toes tapping at the Stay Sober Society meetings. Although I suppose that could be the Shakes. Would you like to hear it again?
Sure.
I knew if I waited long enough, somebody would request it. You say you've lost your self-respect, but you should care. It's not too late to redirect and start to care. Don't despise the good and pure. Time to rise up from the sewer. Wash off all that foul manure. Show the world you care. You should care. You should care what people think of you. Of goals that you could name, reclaiming your good name is what you ought to do. You should care. You should care. If your reputation is in disrepair, it's not going to hurt you to reclaim your virtue, for you should care.
Catchy.
You really think so?
Yeah, it's, got a good hook to it.
One needs a good hook if one is fishing for souls.
Do you think I could have a copy of your You Should Care lyrics? I've, got a club of my own that could really use some inspiring.
Sure. Let me just get a page out of the hymnal. There you are.
Hey, thanks. You know, Trixie Trotter sings a song that sounds a lot like your You Should Care.
She does?
Yeah, but hers is a little more carefree.
That's what you get when you sing for booze hounds and gangsters.
What's going on with you and Emmett? The last time I saw you, you seemed to be kinda interested in him.
That was before I belatedly realized that his agreement to host my Stay Sober Society was a clever ruse to ferry barrels of hooch to his so-called laboratory.
Sorry about that.
Now his very presence fills me with an irrepressible urge to pick at his philosophical and intellectual foundations with every tool in my vocabulary.
So you're not dating?
Dating? The mere thought of romantic involvement with that undisciplined techno-anarchist is preposterous.
Good. What's Kid Tannen been up to for the last 2 months?
Didn't you hear? It was in all the papers.
I've been, traveling.
Well, the feds were all set to arrest Tannen on tax evasion charges. Seems they'd gotten Tannen's books from his accountant.
I heard something about that, yeah.
Well, the accountant disappeared, unsurprisingly. But the feds still thought they had a case. After all, they still had the books, right?
Right.
Wrong. The day before the trial, the books up and vanished right out of the court's evidence locker.
No.
Lots of fingers were pointed, but honestly, the whole town's so corrupt that it could have been anyone. Court clerks, cops, janitors.
So kids walking around free?
Free, clear, and laughing it up in his new speakeasy. The feds want to bring a case up against him, but without those books, they've got nothing.
Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
Parker? Just another soul lost to the twin vices of booze and despair. I've asked him to tell me his story for my column, sort of a cautionary tale, but he's never in the mood to talk to me.
What have you got against dogs, anyway?
They're smelly, rude, completely unable to take care of themselves, and frankly, they're not very bright. If I had my druthers, dogs would be banned from public places.
Harsh.
It's a harsh world, Mr. Crockett.
Whatever happened with that speakeasy arsonist?
I was about to ask you the same question.
Me?
Don't play coy with me. I may not have any journalistically acceptable proof, but I know you had a hand in Carl Sagan's daring escape from the authorities.
Didn't you think that Sagan was innocent?
I used to, but after he escaped, 2 more speakeasies were torched in Colfax and Georgetown.
That's just a coincidence.
Coincidence? Or is our friend Carl a serial arsonist?
You wouldn't happen to know anything about Trixie Trotter, would you?
Kid Tannen's latest conquest? Well, she claims to be a lounge singer from Seattle, but my sources in Washington have never heard of her. I mean, honestly, Trixie Trotter, what kind of name is that?
I'm pretty sure that Carl Sagan didn't start those fires.
We'll see. One of the reasons I'm camped out so close to Tannen's new speakeasy is it gives me the chance to catch the arsonist in the act. It'd make a great story for my column.
See ya.
Keep fighting the good fight!
Welcome back, sir.
Looks like Parker's still parked. Trixie?
Yeah?
How about Stairway to Heaven?
I sing popular songs, kiddo. You want hymns? Go to a church.
Break a leg out there.
Thanks.
Hey, Trixie, look over there!
Why?
Didn't you see it?
No.
Ah, never mind. Danny,
You?
should you be drinking so much on duty?
Probably not, but this joint ain't open when I'm off duty.
See you later, Danny.
I'll be here.
There's only a few people, and maybe an animal or two, who'd be interested in Grandpa's smelly old pipe. But this isn't one of them. Parker's not sad enough to tell me his tale of woe.
Welcome back, sir.
Looks like Parker's still parked. Hey, what? So everyone in the Wall of Fame are enemies of Kid Tannen that have coincidentally been killed?
Enemies, rivals, guys who looked at Trixie the wrong way. Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Hey, look, a paying customer.
Trixie?
Yeah?
You know what you'd sing great? This one song by...
Pick it up with the piano player. He does the set list.
So, everybody in that portrait gallery is deceased now, right?
Yeah, kids' bullets have a tendency to do that to people, but I guess it's kinda sweet that he commemorates them afterwards.
Yeah, sweet.
And after all, Kid only shoots at the hoodlums.
I happen to see Arthur McFly.
Tonight?
Uh-huh.
How is he? Where's he staying?
I didn't manage to find out.
If you see him again, tell him I'm looking for him, okay? I could really use his advice in regards to my you-know-what.
Break a leg out there.
Thanks.
Hey, back off, kid. I'm trying to entertain some people here.
Way down in Louisiana, down in New Orleans. Maybe not.
Hey! I do the singing round here. Come to me, my melancholy baby. Cuddle up and don't be blue. All your fears are foolish fancy, maybe. You know, dear, that I'm in love with you. Every cloud must have a silver line.
Danny,
You.
Until the sun
so about those troubles.
It all started on June 14th. I was chasing down one of Tannen's boys when this car, straight out of Buck Rogers, popped up out of nowhere and ran my car off the road.
No.
Then later, I lost track of a witness. The poor schlub hasn't been heard from since.
That wasn't your fault.
And then, to top it off, I somehow managed to lose custody of an 80-year-old arsonist. When not one, but two of those godforsaken space cars showed up and whisked him away.
That's unbelievable.
That's what the chief said. Demoted me on the spot. My family sent me to a psychiatrist because they thought I was seeing things. And worst of all, my gal Betty left me because she thinks I'm a bad provider and a head case.
Betty, as in Jennifer's grandma Betty?
What?
Listen, Danny, it's really important that you get back together with Betty.
Ah, that ship sailed. What the heck with her? I got a little secret that'll set me up with women twice as classy as Betty'll ever be.
You know, drinking that much is really bad for your health.
What are you, my mother?
More like future grandson-in-law.
What?
Never mind. You've got a secret? What is it?
I don't think I should tell you. When I'm sad like this, I don't think straight. But listen,
Yes?
I like you. You're my new best friend.
See you later, Danny.
I'll be here.
You should care what people think of you.
Peculiar lyrics for a saloon song.
Claiming your good name is what you ought to do.
Danny,
You.
so about that secret.
See, I really care what people think of me. That's why I'm keeping my secrets to myself.
See you later, Danny.
I'll be here.
Whisper in my ear so no one can hear. Secrets are for sharing love, they're not meant for blaring love. Whisper in my ear so no one can hear. Shh. Whisper in my ear, let me read you soft and clear. Don't make it fortissimo, make it pianissimo.
Danny.
You.
So about that secret.
Oh yeah, my secret. Well, you're my pal, so I can tell you, but don't let it get out. I've been working for Tannen for over a month now.
What?
It's true. All I gotta do is look the other way while evidence is getting destroyed or a truck full of gin is coming across the county line, and Tannen makes sure an extra bunch of bills makes their way into my pay envelope. Great deal, huh?
Yeah, if you're a rat.
What's the problem? People need to drink, right? As long as no one's getting hurt, why shouldn't Daniel J. Parker make a few bucks on the action?
What about Artie McFly? Hasn't he been missing for 2 months?
That's true, and all signs point to a Tannen job. Oh God, I've made a horrible mistake. I thought if I could get my hands on some money, that Betty'd take me back. But when she finds out what I'd done, she'll never even talk to me again. What have I done?
Come on, Danny, pull yourself together. It's not so bad.
Not so bad. I'm a corrupt cop who's lost his only chance at true love. How's that not so bad?
Hang in there, Danny.
Oh, God.
You should care what people think of you.
She's right. I can turn my life around.
Sure you can.
You know what? I used to be a good cop. And yeah, I've had a few bad breaks, possibly even a psychotic one that caused me to imagine a disappearing space car. But I'm a good man.
Yeah.
And all I need to do to win Betty back is be the same good man I always was. And let the chips fall where they may.
All right. So now what?
Now I wait. Wait for the moment to take down Kid Tannen, restore my good name, and win back the heart of Betty Lipinski.
Hold that thought. I bet that moment is just around the corner. Trixie?
Yeah?
Hey, you can trust me. Come on, what's the dirt you got on Kid?
Nix on that. I ain't spilling nothing until I talk with Arthur F-L-Y.
Break a leg out there.
Thanks.
Edna!
What?
Hey, I got a hot lead for you.
Oh? What is it?
Young scientist strands dog on courthouse roof.
What?
Look over there.
Oh, for goodness sake. Mr. Brown.
Please, Miss Strickland, not now. Can't you see I've got a rather delicate situation on my hands at the moment? My trial run...
Trial run? Public hazard, I call it. And I'm sure my editor will agree. This scientific enterprise of yours represents a clear and present danger to public safety.
You know what represents a clear and present danger to public safety? Your singing voice.
There's no need to get personal, Mr. Brown.
Believe me, I have no intention of getting personal with you.
I'm relieved to hear it. Flying cars, of all the ridiculous juvenile
You mock me,
notions.
but just imagine a world in which traffic jams and car crashes are a thing of the past.
I might be more inclined to listen to you if your maiden voyage hadn't ended in a crash on one roof and a stranded dog on another.
I'm working on getting him down. Einie, how'd you get down? Clever dog.
Well, fortune favors you tonight, but I warn you to be more careful in the future.
Now, how to get that rocket car back down?